Welcome to the Firebelly Social Show. We're focused on talking to food and beverage brands that are on a mission to make the world better.
Coffee's in this really interesting shift. And they said our key breakthrough was when we started to focus on such a beautiful and interesting city, full of influences. I would orient myself there at least 3 months out of the year. It makes so much sense. It's what we've been missing. It's what we need.
Hola, hola, hola. Hanging out with Emily McIntyre from Swift Coffee Sourcing. Third time on the Firebelly podcast. What's up?
Hi, what's up, Duncan? It's so good to finally meet you in person. We've done this by video twice now, and here we are in person.
I know, at the World of Coffee. And what are you excited about what's happening in the world of coffee right now?
Well, coffee's in this really interesting shift. We have all of what's behind us with coffee, with specialty coffee. And I love seeing, for example, alternative milks and things that are in the coffee ecostructure evolve, because I'm seeing so much great innovation that's taking place. And we're not just talking innovation at a coffee farm level, but we're talking innovation in the R&D department, in the lab, in marketing. The type of stories that we're telling are evolving.
Exactly.
I mean, what are you seeing, and how are the stories evolving right now?
I'm seeing several of the people we've talked to that are at the coffee shop level that are winning awards are saying that they're refocused on hospitality.
I literally just got out of a meeting where that was the focus of what we talked about. And it's a big Austin roaster, and they do a fantastic job. And they said our key breakthrough was when we started to focus on hospitality versus, teaching people something. And in fact, the quote, I'm happy to share, it was Greater Goods, an incredible friend and client in Austin, Khan, the CEO. She said, we thought we needed to teach them to taste. Turns out they needed to teach us to taste.
Remember we had this conversation, and the last time we did our episode together, we talked about how Gen Z is more interested in what it is and what it does for them than the origin and the story.
Which fits perfectly with the zeitgeist and where we are in the world right now. And if we can get behind that instead of trying to change it, massive opportunities for every one of us involved.
And I feel like I must confess this to you, that I am struggling with my own identity as a lover of coffee because I'm such a purist.
Well, I understand that.
And this functional things and adding stuff in.
I understand that. I haven't taken it very far myself. I still drink a lot of black coffee that is well processed and well sourced.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what I do.
Yes.
I can, from a hypothetical and metaphorical standpoint, really get behind the big shift that's taking place. I have a little ways to go. I feel very millennial and middle-aged right now on that topic.
I mean, I think that we are seeing, as you said, the hospitality, the service. Let's make one of the owners of the coffee shop said that we run to help them with their bags when they come in.
Yes, and okay, post-COVID, there was sort of a fracture of hospitality culture, I think, because so many hospitality places were forced to close or limit their hours or distance themselves physically from the people they were serving. It makes so much sense that we would have a resurfacing of hospitality right now.
Yeah.
It's what we've been missing. It's what we need, and it's the glue that holds us together in public spaces.
Exactly. It's
things like
a return.
that.
In fact, your friend Andy from the Oats company said to us yesterday and said that I'm feeling a resurgence of community. I think he said conversation and community. And so, people are genuine. And Emily, do people come here to get inspired?
People come here to be inspired, incredibly so. It's the best way to get a quick hit off of what's happening in the world and try and frame it with what you're doing. But then people do also come here to connect. So the first time anyone comes to World of Coffee, it used to be called SCA, it's a little dizzying. I get that.
Yeah.
But then with annual attendance or even just occasional attendance, you start running into friends.
Yes.
And they're people you wouldn't see if it were not for this incredible event, and also for the thing that pulls us all together, which is food and beverage and the way that we work together, the coffee industry and everything around it.
Yes.
For example, you and I, we've talked over the years.
Yeah.
We've had amazing interviews and conversations. Yeah. Here we are in person in San Diego doing this.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's the relationships, and you mentioned the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Man, what an ecosystem.
Incredible
Hardware,
ecosystem.
software, supply chain,
finance,
reverse supply chain.
logistics, all of it.
Marketing people, and the baked goods and the other things.
Alternative milks and chais and all of these things that we need in this ecosystem.
Yes.
Syrups, yeah, definitely.
And I think that the one thing that has blown me away is I've been for the last few years a lover of the fellow kettles.
Yeah. Oh yes, I have one at home.
And the brewistas, which I think are being given to all the people in the roasting village.
Oh,
got
cool.
the brewista kettles. Those things are beautiful, and all the little cups, beautiful cups. And I'm like, never seen such an emphasis on beauty in the coffee space. And I haven't. I'm sure you have. Yeah.
No, I think there's an appreciation. So we had this very minimalist approach aesthetically. It was driven by that third wave. Empty spaces were celebrated. And I think that we saw that reflected in how we talked about coffee. And to my delight, I believe we're entering a maximalist age of coffee aesthetics and storytelling.
The maximalist age, yes.
This is saturation of color and texture. And it's an attention to detail that also extrapolates to larger spaces. And we're seeing really genuinely the change between a space filled with white subway tile and just color, texture, it calls to indigenous culture, an honoring of where coffee comes from, which is always saturated in color and smells and tastes and textures.
Yeah.
This is the maximalist age of coffee. I announce it for the first time.
I
think that we're there.
Age, yeah.
Here we are. It happened right here.
And I think that not to mention that not that Expo doesn't have people from all over, but Expo is a little frenetic, especially
exceptionally frenetic. Wow.
Emerging and small brands. Everyone's there. They're trying to meet and sell. This seems more like a confluence. It's like people are getting together, and all these people speaking different languages. It's just phenomenal.
No, it's incredible. I'm alternating between friends and buyers and producer partners, and it's just this effortless flow between countries: Ethiopia, Peru, the UK, just like all these places.
I mean, I think I have to say that I celebrate and I hope that we can continue the concept of the American marketplace.
Yeah,
right?
it is a distinct
we want
thing.
That. We want to continue that and like shine our light.
So what do you think defines the American marketplace for specialty coffee?
I think it's a certain level of open-mindedness, and it's respect, and it's got, like we said, hospitality. It's like a welcoming attitude, because I think Americans are so enthusiastic about what's happening and cool things. And even if it's we're just focusing on the coffee shop, it's like, hey, I want to try this new coffee and this is where it came from. And maybe they don't know anything about the grower, but as long as they know where it came from, I'm happy.
And knowing there is something there to dive into when it's time.
It's amazing that since our conversation, how many people I've heard say that, I'm going to Peru, and maybe I wasn't listening for it before. I'm going to Peru.
You got your Peru filter on.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you going to do in Peru? And they're like, some of the best restaurants are in Peru.
Oh, yeah.
And the best coffee and cool people, and it's got more of a vintage vibe to it. Do you think that?
Yeah. Peru, and it sounds like Lima is what's being discussed. It's such a beautiful and interesting city, full of influences. My family, so I have a 14-year-old, and then my husband, Michael, is the QC and sourcing director for my business, and we're actually talking about just going in and being in Peru, in Lima in particular, for 3 months out of the year, just living in our favorite districts, Barranco and Miraflores, and enjoying the restaurants and the culture and the museums, and flying to the areas where we work to support buyers and do the work. I would orient myself there at least 3 months out of the year. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Some of the
and
best.
what a change of perspective, too.
Oh, absolutely. And we need that.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to expand our perspectives.
I mean, here's to the age of maximalism, Emily.
Maximalism and coffee.
Maximalism. Always great to talk to you.
Yeah.
Always great to talk to you. And I hope you have an amazing show.
Thank you, Doug.
And if you don't recognize it, a lot of people just... So just being independent is not the solution. And that energy is infectious, and I love it. It feeds us, so I don't really feel powerful. I feel inspired and energized.
Yeah.
It feels cool when you're like out here in the world, but when you're in front of a buyer.
Yo, everybody, I'm so excited to be hanging with my new friend, Andy Aussie. Andy.
Thank you, Duncan.
Andy, you are a wunderkind. Is that how you say it?
Wunderkind, yeah,
Wunderkind.
sure.
You are not only in the design and helping food and beverage brands come to market, but you also are one of the founders of
Earnest.
Earnest Eats.
Yeah, it's like my passion brand. Yeah, I love it.
And let me tell you, in my opinion, that when you walked in the shoes of a founder on the food side, it must really change your perspective about working with clients.
I think that's a great point, because you understand what they're going through. I'm only 29, but I have the gray from all the challenges in entrepreneurship. I love entrepreneurship. But I think when you understand what it takes to sell to customers, to sell to consumers, and then we go on the design development side, I have a lot of empathy, but I think it also makes you smarter, because I've sat in front of Walmart buyers, Costco, Whole Foods, whatever, and I have a sense for when you're pitching your own idea, hey, it feels cool when you're like out here in the world, but when you're in front of a buyer, that's a moment of vulnerability. And if you don't recognize it, a lot of people that doesn't work.
I mean, it's that buyer psychology, right? It's like they're not trying to lose their job.
Right.
You can't promote your product.
Exactly. Right? Yes. And they don't want you to be afraid. They want you to use that vulnerability and generate courage and do something really different in the world that's going to matter to their shopper or their guest. So that's what we're all about, is how do we get to those fundamental human truths and then answer it with a creation that doesn't exist in the world today. And that's why we created our barista line that we launched at the coffee show that you saw yesterday. It's so new, it's empty, it's launching this week. But we wanted to create something really special we didn't see in coffee houses. So the insight I had is, I love breakfast. We're all about fiber maxing and health. But if it doesn't feel like a coffee house, then it's not going to fit in a coffee house. So you can see the look and feel. This is dirty chai. I promise, Scott, it's clean, it's not dirty, but it's healthy. It also tastes amazing. If it doesn't give you that craft experience, it's not going to fit in a coffee house.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, that must be such a powerful feeling for you to say, like, hey, I'm going after a whole new market in coffee shops. Like, that's a big niche.
Sure.
You know, I mean, and is it a more receptive niche than the traditional retail?
You know, I love the coffee house channel. We've been selling at grocery and other kinds of natural food, and they're wonderful stores, don't get me wrong, but there's something about, we talked about community yesterday.
Yes.
You know, you sit with a buyer at Walmart, and they're really smart, they're wonderful, but it's a business environment.
Yes.
You sit with a roaster or roaster distributor, and they're like, hey, well, let me make you a double shot first. And then you're sitting and you're smelling the beans, and I just think, for me, it makes it so much more enjoyable, hopefully for them as well.
Yeah. And I want to go back to what you said yesterday. You know, I asked you, what are you thinking about where the coffee world is going? And you talked about, let's revisit that.
Sure.
Conversation and community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, also, how robust this industry is. In an economy where so much, there's inflation, some industries are flagging. We go to a bunch of different trade shows. Some of the trade shows are really slowing down. This show is hopping. I mean, it is chock-full. It must be 18,000 people here. That tells me independent coffee is robust. And that energy is infectious, and I love it. It feeds us, so I don't really feel powerful. I feel inspired and energized.
Yeah, and as we've been talking to like these, coffee shops that are nominated for the top 100 coffee shops in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, we're hearing the same thing. It's about, hey, we really refocused on our guests.
Yeah, well, rewind 20 years. So when I went to grad school at UCLA, that was 1,000 years ago. The founder of Starbucks came and spoke at our school, right? And guess what?
Howard.
Yes.
Howard Schultz.
And he was a wonderful, smart guy. He was trying to replicate the independent coffee experience he found in Italy in his first coffee shops. That first venture failed, then he did Starbucks. I have nothing against Starbucks. I love Starbucks Reserve. But amazing, this is one of the few industries where the independents took back over after consolidation. So look at now at this show, 18,000 people here, and there is thousands and thousands of independent coffee that have displaced old Starbucks locations and neighborhoods. And it's not like I'm against this or that, but I love the richness that the independent coffee houses bring to the communities that we're in.
Because I think at the scale of a Starbucks, you can't innovate fast enough, and the innovation has to be standardized and compliant, whereas these people, they're using macerated fruits, and they're focused on this origin and that origin, and they have a whole personality, and they're making drinks, and the baristas are talking to the customers every day.
Look, I think Starbucks is trying. trying.
Yeah.
So again, I think they're all trying, but I find that when you meet the cool kids at these coffee houses, that they're sitting there roasting day and night, they're personally connected to it. And I'm telling you, the drinks are transformative. So when you love coffee and you go to these coffee houses, they're all different, right? But I love that experience. And I think our oatmeals speak to that difference as well. Something you're not going to find in a grocery store. Again, that special experience. And you described the third place, right?
Yeah.
It's still a third place for a lot of people.
I agree. I need to find a new coffee shop. I left my coffee shop because it didn't care and it was getting dingy.
Yeah, well, there you go. So just being independent is not the solution. It is about the care and the craft and the conscientiousness.
And Andy, you clearly have an eye for design.
Yes.
Yes, and I mean, in all your 25 years of being alive, you have focused on design. What are you seeing? Is there a change in the design we're seeing? It seems like there's more colors, it's more vibrant. This white austere shit seems to be gone.
You're right. It was minimalist for a long time. When you walk around, I think the new wave of design, the energy you're seeing is fantastic. I see it in packaged foods as well, like Goodles, or in Fish Wife. I love that tin fish.
Yes, yes.
But I think it's always about a narrative. So the style may change, but I think they're richly bringing this narrative to life. And I applaud the younger generation. I think they're part of driving that. Like, hey, I don't want some minimalist company that I can't feel connected with. Give me a company that I can feel community with, even if it's just through their packaging.
It's so wonderful to meet you, and I hope you come back we're going to get you on a full episode.
I love it.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Kyle, who is the founder and owner of Good for Nothing Coffee. Kyle, how's it going, man?
It's going great. It's been a great show. We just got here. We're serving today here at the GH booth. We have a pink bourbon on right now from one of our very close producing partners down in Colombia called Unblended. Their project has been truly amazing to work with. They focus on young producers, and I guess that's really what I'm excited about right now, is working with Unblended has been such a great connection to make.
Kyle, so it sounds like you're on a mission, my man.
Yes, I am. I mean, just to share great coffee, as we all are. Great coffee, great equipment, great tech partners behind us, producing partners. Yeah.
One of the things I was talking to Andy, I believe, Andy, who has an oat company, and he said that one of the things that makes this shows unique is that, man, people are excited. There's a sense of community and there's conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all come here to be re-inspired. Sometimes we lose the light and the spark behind us, and being here together kind of reinvigorates that inspiration for, I think, all of us.
So is it fair to say Kyle Lopez, Doctor of Coffee?
Doctor of maybe equipment. Yeah. We like to nerd out about equipment and coffees as well, but mostly like we focus on a lot of equipment stuff. Burr geometry, burr sets, different ways to brew coffee. I mean, each time something new comes out, they update something, and they're trying to push the boundaries and the envelope. So yeah, we're always here trying to support equipment.
And what is something you're seeing happening in the industry right now, a trend or just something that's happening that you're excited about?
I feel like we're coming back to hospitality. I feel like we lost that about 10 years ago, and right now baristas are re-engaging, owners are re-engaging with what hospitality means and how to integrate that back into our cafes, which I think is one of the best things in coffee right now.
Okay, I gotta ask this question for all the people listening out there. What's your daily driver when it comes to coffee? What's your favorite coffee?
Anything from Colombia, really. Yeah, anything from Colombia. You want a specific profile, you go to Colombia because you can find it there. You want an Ethiopia heirloom, you can go to Colombia and find one now. You want a very nice, clean geisha, you go to Colombia. You get any variety now, papayo, pink bourbon, like what we're serving here today, you go to Colombia.
It's Good for Nothing Coffee. How'd you decide on the name?
We just wanted to have fun. Again, going back to inspiration, we played with a lot of ideas, but our little mascot is an otter, and it looks like he's a little good for nothing. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great show.
Thank you. You as well.
Thanks for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.